I started, again, 3 years ago, 2 minutes meditation. And then I took it up a minute a week. Because there's no sense getting quickly in it and then quickly out of it. But it's the fact of practicing this every day, not only will it have an impact on your brain, but everything you do. And then you can take the learning from this practice in your everyday. And I took it on August 20th of this year in Tremblant. Standing there at 5:45 in the morning with my wetsuit on, and about to embark on something I thought about for 15 years, and here's the word thought, but I did plan for it, to do a full Ironman. Now I'm 59, and my goal was to do one before I turned 60. So I was standing that morning, and my family was not far, and all of a sudden, I had excruciating spasms. One after the other, standing on the beach, minutes away from starting the race. Now, I had two options. Either to say, well, that shouldn't happen. Why is that happening? I'm so upset. I can't believe it. No. I accepted the spasms for what they were and went with them. And I was standing there, and my son was next to me. He's 9. He said, Dad, are you okay? I said, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Because I knew that if I didn't do this and really felt aware of what's going on and begin to fight it, there was no way, and you need to understand something, I don't like water, I get nervous in water, and yet I had to swim a lake 3.8 kilometers in water, and it looked like this. So I knew I was a few minutes away from pandemonium, been training for a year, been thinking about it for 15 years, and these spasms were there. An hour and 42, so I went in the water, I fell back, okay. Went in the water, got a little warmed up, and then when the cannon went off, the gun went off, we all went. And there was one thing as a strategy that I had to do the 3.8 kilometers. Very simple. I said to myself, Hani, the only thing you have to do is the following. Whatever happens around you, that's what you're going to do. Stay in your breathing. Be fully aware of your breathing, because the water is murky, the water is cold, all kind of people around you kicking you, etc. You had to be mindful, in the moment, present. So an hour and 42, and here you can tell I didn't sleep the night before, barely, because we had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. And I think the spasm had to do with the big bowl of rice I had with raisins. Raisins? God, I don't want to see raisins again. An hour 42, then getting on the bike, 180 kilometers, that took me 7.5 hours. Then doing a full marathon of 42 kilometers, that took me 6.5 hours. So I was in mindfulness for 16 hours and 12 minutes. And my strategy in each discipline was very simple. The breath with the bike. The hills in Tremblant, I don't know if you know the hills, but it's pretty hilly. So it's one stroke and another stroke and one stroke and another stroke. And the running was the same thing, one footstep after the other. And the one thing that kept me going is what I started with earlier on. I looked at this and I said, you know what? The water is not your enemy. The water is your friend. Why is that? Because gravity is pulling you down. The water is pushing you up. Wow. I said, the hills are not your enemy. The hills will bring you down. And actually, I went down these hills at 68 kilometers an hour. I don't know if you know how fast that is on a little wheel like this. You have to be completely focused on this. And accepting and just doing it. You can't be analyzing. You can't be in your head. And the running, the pavement was my friend, because every time I pushed back, it pushed me forward. I was one with the whole race. 16 hours and 12 minutes. So, I'm going to finish on this now, and there is something I bought when I was 16 years old, and instead of scanning it, I wanted to bring it. Because I bought it when I was 16 in Maine, in Ogunquit, with my parents, and it followed me, and you can tell from the stains that it followed me pretty much in my apartment and household, and now in this house, everywhere. And this is what it says. Look to this day, yesterday is already a dream. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. I didn't know when I was 16 that somewhere, someday, I'll be here speaking about living the day, living the moment, and be mindful. So I encourage you to get on the path of mindfulness and go in the non-doing, because that's where everything is done. Thank you.